So you've probably watched different video tutorials on how to do sign in with Google in your React Native and Expo mobile app, but you're still not getting it right, or you're still encountering different error messages. If that's your case, then this video is for you. Or maybe it worked for you in development, but in production it's giving you errors. If that's also the case, then you want to watch this video and follow the steps. In this video, we will deal with every issue that you can possibly face when trying to do login with Google in your React Native and Expo mobile app. We will address different issues like, hey, it's not working on Android. When I successfully sign in, it's redirecting me to google.com. It's not working in production. I'm seeing some errors. How can I fix it? I generated APK for my Android and it's not working anymore. Or can't we just have some native feel? After watching this video, anybody will be able to understand and implement login with Google in their React Native and Expo mobile app. I already made two videos on this same topic, one addressing how to do it and the other one showing how to do the one-tap sign-in feature. But it seems some people are still not getting it right, and I care so much about helping mobile developers who build with React Native build their app easily and without any stress. And that is why I am making this video. So click the subscribe button if you want me to help you break down difficult features to become so easy, because that is what we do on this channel. Currently, I have a playlist that teaches React.js to JavaScript developers that want to become React or React Native developers so that I can make their journey much easier. So subscribe and leave a like on this video to encourage me to continue making great content and helpful content for people like you. So let's dive into the topic of today, which is signing with Google in your React Native and Expo mobile app. So we'll be starting with a new and clean Expo project. I'm just going to create that here, and this I'm going to create it. Something I'm going to be doing is that because I didn't write a script for this video, so I'm going to be doing it step by step on my own, so that it will be as though you were the one doing it and you can make mistakes and you can see my errors, you can see my debugging and everything. So the next thing we have to do is to run this project now that we've opened it, and I'll just do npm run start. Now we have our project open. It's a blank project, there's nothing on it yet, so we'll start working with it. Now we're going to be working with this library called RON Google Sign-In, which is the React Native package for implementing sign-in with Google in your React Native and Expo app. And as you can see here, we're going to be on the Expo setup page rather, since we are working with Expo. And now we can just try to install some of these things. First of all, we have to install this. I'll copy that and go back to my project and try to install it. I'll copy that and I'm going to install it. So I'm going to clear this and paste that here, and it will install. Now the next thing we'll be doing is to add this plugin to our app.json file. Now I'll advise you to follow every single step of this video and don't skip or forward to any position, because the information that might help you in your project might be at one spot or the other. So if you skip that part, then going forward you will actually encounter an error. So please follow every step. And this is one mistake that so many people have made that is making me to do another video to simply explain all that needs to be done to achieve this feature. So now we're going to copy this plugin and add it to our app.json file. Now we can see our app.json file here, and we'll go to the Expo. Inside Expo, we have to add it inside this. I can just do this and add it here. Now we need to have our iOS URL scheme here, and we're going to get that from Google Cloud Console. So how are we going to do that? Now I'm on Google Cloud Console, and what we're going to do is that we're going to create a project for our implementation. So we're going to create a project, and to do that I'll just click on the previous project that's here, and you see a button here that says new project. I'll click that and I'll give our project a name. The name of our app is Mango app, so I'll say Mango project, and no organization. I'll just create that. And after creating it, I will make sure that the app I just created is what is selected here. So select project, and now you can see that Mango project is selected here. Now the next thing we have to do is to create what they call a consent screen. So first of all, I'm going to go to APIs and services. Now that we're in API and services, first we'll go to OAuth consent screen and wait for this to load. And then we'll have to configure this, how you want to configure and register your app. Okay, we'll do external. And now we'll have to give our app a name, Mango. Support email, I'll use my email. App logo, not necessary. And the rest of this information are not really necessary until you get to developer contact information. And then you can see the save and continue button below here. I'll click that. And that's my setup for the OAuth consent screen. Now next, I will go to credentials. Now all of these options at the left side here have their functions. Like if I want to use maybe distance matrix, or I'm building an app like Uber and I want to be able to calculate distance, or I want to be able to calculate to use the map services, then I can go to enable APIs and services. So all these are very useful stuff, but since we're just doing authentication with Google, now we'll have to go to credentials. Now we'll have to create some credentials, and the first one we'll be creating will be for the web, and I'll select create credentials, as you can see here, and OAuth client ID. And when that loads, I'll be selecting, okay, let it load first. Oh yeah, so once that loads up, I'll be selecting the application type, which is a web application, and then I'll leave the name like this, and I have to add authorized JavaScript origin. So what will be our authorized JavaScript origin? Now for authorized JavaScript origins, we'll click the add URI, and what will be our authorized JavaScript origins? I'm going to post it here. Now this is the port on which we are running our Expo app, 8081. So that's going to be our authorized JavaScript origin. And also for the authorized redirect URIs, we're going to add that to, and it will be the same thing. Now this is for the web, and we'll click on create here. And once that is done, now once we've created that, we can copy our client ID here and go and save it in our app. I'm blurring mine here so that you not use it, because you're not supposed to use mine, you're supposed to use yours. So I'll go ahead and now take it to the app and save it somewhere so I can be able to access it later. Now I've added mine as a string and export it from the keys folder in the index.ts file, and I won't show you so that you're not able to use it. Now it's always better to save your keys and like this in the env file, but we're not going to do that in this video. Now we're going to create another one, because we're creating three: one for the web, one for Android, and one for iOS. So now let's create the one for iOS. So it will be iOS client 1 bundle identifier. Now how do we get our bundle identifier? Now we'll be able to get our bundle ID, or what we'll call bundle identifier, from our code here. So to do that, in the terminal we'll just run npx expo prebuild, and we'll wait for that to load. And now it will ask us a question that what will you like your Android package to be, and we'll just leave it the way it is, com.omatshola619.mango. And also, what will you like your iOS bundle identifier to be, and we'll leave it at the same thing. And in that case, it would create an iOS and Android folder for us, and then this has become our bundle identifier automatically. So we can just copy this and go and paste it in our Google Cloud Console settings. Now we'll paste that here, and we don't need this for now. We'll fix that later when we are deploying iOS, and we can just click on the create button. Now I will be blowing this one also, but I'll just copy it and go and paste it inside my keys and export it as a string also. Now let's not forget that we're trying to get our iOS URL scheme before we started creating our credentials. So let's easily get that. Then now, as you can see here, I'm going to click into the iOS client one, and then when that loads, you'll be able to see iOS URL scheme at the right side here. So that's the iOS URL scheme that we are going to copy. I'll just copy this. You cannot use mine, please use yours. And I'll go and paste it in that place in our app.json file. Now I'll just replace our iOS URL scheme here with the one we just copied, and I will save that, and we're good to go to create our Android client now. Now let's create our Android client ID. Select OAuth client ID and then select Android, and we'll leave the application type and we'll leave the name to Android client 1. Our package name will still be the same. We can get our package name. I think it was com.omatshola619.mango. I need to confirm that. Okay, that is correct. So now we'll need to get our SHA1 certificate fingerprint. So we can add it here. And how do we get that? Because it's required, as you can see. Now follow me gently, follow me. And this is why it's very important that you watch every single step of the video so that you don't miss it at any point in time. Now we're going to get our SHA1. Oh, that's hard to say. We're going to get our SHA1 fingerprint from EAS, and here's how we're going to do that. First, we're going to run a build, an EAS build. Now watch what I'll do here in the terminal. So I'm going to clear my terminal first, then I will run EAS build configure. Oh, I made a mistake there, so I let you see my mistakes. Everyone makes mistakes. Now I'll click that and it's going to run, and it will say, would you like to automatically create an EAS project? I'll click Y on my keyboard, which says yes, and it says what platform. I can use the arrow keys on my keyboard to go down or up, and I'll select all. Now as you can see here, an EAS.json file has just been created for us, and now we can get our SHA1 fingerprint certificate. Now I'm going to clear the terminal again, and now follow me. I'm going to run EAS credentials now. Like, this point is where most people miss it, like to get the SHA1's fingerprint certificate. So I'll run this, and I'm going to select Android because remember, it's Android that we're trying to get the fingerprint for. I'll select Android, and now we are still in development mode, so I'll select development. If we're in production already, I will have to select production. Now most of these things are going to change the moment that we move from development to production, and it's what most people don't realize. We're going to move our app from development to production, even in Google Cloud Console, and we're going to change most of those settings that we have for the Google Cloud Console already, both for iOS, for the web, and for Android. Now I'm going to select the first option here, which says key store, manage everything needed to build your project, and I'm going to also select the first option that says set up a new key store. Assign a name to your credentials. I'm going to press enter to leave it the way it is. Generate a new Android key store. I'm going to press Y, which says yes, and then it's going to generate a new key store. Sorry, it's going to generate my keys for me, which will include my SHA1 fingerprint certificate. So it says he has created it, and I should press any key to continue. I'll press enter, and I'll ask it for my key, and now I can see my key here, SHA1. I'll just copy that so we can go and paste it in Google Cloud Console. Now don't copy mine, it will not work for you. Now I'm going to paste that into the SHA1 certificate fingerprint, and now we can create our app. Now verify app ownership, this is optional, you can leave that. And now we're going to click on the create button, and once that creates, it will give me my key. Now I'm also going to blur this, and I'm going to copy my OAuth client ID for the Android, and I'm going to save that inside my keys in my code also, and then we can move forward from there. So guys, now that we have all that settings done, we're going to go forward now to implement our Google sign in. Now I'm going to click on original Google sign in here, and now we're going to configure it. And since we already installed Google sign in, I'm going to just copy this, and so that we can use it in our code. Now in our app.css, I'm going to paste that import Google sign in. You remember we already installed this package, so we have all this at our disposal. So I'm going to save that, and we'll move forward. Now keep following me. Now the next thing we're going to do is to copy this Google sign in.configure, and then we're going to have only the settings that we're going to be using in our app. So I'll just copy that and go and paste it in our app. So I'm going to paste that here because these are the only ones we're going to be using in our app. And so I'm going to import my web client ID from here, web client ID for my keys, and I'm also going to import my iOS client ID for my keys, and I'm not going to import the Google client ID, and I'll tell you why, but keep following me. So now we have these settings and we save them, and now we're going to try to use the Google sign in button. Now I didn't create a customized button for myself. I didn't create my own button, so I'm going to use the default button that Google sign in with React Native provides for you if you are using their package. So let's do that. So I'm just going to remove this text and I'll paste the button here. And so I just have login to Omash app and Google sign in button, and so we're going to save that now. And now the moment we save that, we're going to encounter an error, which at this point some people encounter this error and start panicking, but this is normal. And the reason is because sign in with Google does not work on Expo. Yes, you heard me, it doesn't work on Expo app. So what we're going to be doing is that we're going to run a development build, and then we're going to be able to use the sign in with Google package. So let's go ahead and do that. So I'm going to close this terminal. Let me open a fresh one, and now we're going to run npx expo prebuild clean to clean our prebuild. Would like to proceed? Yes. Cleaning Android, cleaning iOS. Okay, now once that is done, we'll be able to run our development build and we'll get our code to be working. So now that is done, and we are going to run our development build now. We're going to do npx expo run iOS because we have iOS here right now. Now our development build is done, and you will see an option on the screen that says open project, and I click on the open project, and here we have our app, the development build. Now on a side note, if you are trying to generate a key, your SHA1 fingerprint certificate, and you don't have EAS installed in your project or in your system yet, because you need EAS to be able to do some of these things, is by Expo. EAS is done by Expo, so you need it to be able to to log in. You'll be able to log in with EAS. You'll be able to create a development build with EAS. You'll be able to do so many things with EAS. So there's a way to do that. And also, what is EAS? So EAS is a framework that helps developers build React Native app very quickly by providing a set of tools and services. So it's an Expo framework, and it allows you to build your iOS and Android and web apps using just one single code base. So EAS stands for Expo Application Services. So it's made by Expo. So you can do a lot of stuff with that, and so you need to log in EAS before you can get your SHA1 certificate fingerprint. So that aside, let's proceed with signing in. So we'll have to do a setup so that when we click on this button, we'll be able to select our emails and be able to sign in using our Google account. So how do we do that? So now I'm back on the React Native Google sign-in documentation, and I will be scrolling down. I'm in original Google sign-in page, and now after we've done this configuration, the next thing we'll have to do is to sign in. And this is the way to sign in. I'll be creating a file and using this and explaining it shortly, so let's do that. So yeah, in our root directory, I'm going to create a file called, okay, let's create a folder first, a folder comps for components, and then I'll create a file called signin.ts. Now I'm going to paste it there, what I just copied from the React Native Google sign in documentation. So I've pasted this here, and now what we're doing in here is that we're importing these packages from the React Native Google sign-in package, and then we create a function called sign-in, and then we are using the Google services. First, we're checking if it has Google Play services, and if it does, then we get the user info. I'm logging the user to, I'm logging the user to the console from the user info, and now I'm catching errors here. I'm using the try catch block. So if the sign-in was cancelled, maybe you're trying to sign in but you cancelled it, then you would have to control what kind of error you want to be shown here. So I'm just logging something went wrong to the console for now, and then you have to do it yourself, what error you want to show, or if you want to pass an error message or a toast or something. So I'll save this and then go back to my app, and on press of this button, I am going to call this sign-in function, and I'll save that. And so when I click on the button, okay, let's refresh completely. When I click on the button now, you would see Mango wants to use google.com to sign in, and I'll continue, and then it will take me to the accounts that I have on this device, as you can see. Okay, so I'll select tech like ABC. Okay, now we have an error here that says access blocked. Mango has not completed the Google verification process. So now it's time for us to find what that error means and how we can resolve it. So while trying to understand what went wrong, I noticed that I will have to add test users, because right now Google has not verified my app. I've not published my app, so they will only allow me to have users that will be able to log in with Google for now. So I'll click on add users, and I will add the email that I want to use to log in. So I'll save that. Click the save button, make sure it saves, yeah, like this. And once it saves, I can now use this account to log in to my app. Now remember that I'm still on the Mango project, and I'm in the OAuth consent screen while going to the test users to add a test user, which is my email, which I want to use to log in to the app. So let's test the app again. So we wish ourselves luck. So we click it again. Mango wants to use google.com to sign in, continue, and select your account. Now remember that this is the email I added as test user, so now I can add that, and it says continue. And as you can see here, we just received the user's information. Let me blow some of that so that I don't know. So family name, giving name, take like ABC, the email jockeykennels@gmail.com, the name, and also the photo. So we have all of those information, and we can send this information to maybe our backend and Node.js backend or any backend, or we can use it to do whatever we like, display it in the app there, display the image or something. But yeah, we have the data, so login with Google is working perfectly on our app now. So we've seen our app working, our feature, our login with Google feature working on our iOS app. How about we see it working on Android? Because so many people have been getting that error and they've been coming to the comment section of the previous videos I did and saying it's not working on Android. So yeah, we're going to stop this process now and we are going to make it work on Android. So here we said npx expo run iOS, so we'll be doing Android this time. So let's see how that will work. So guys, right now our build has finished running for Android and we can try to open the app now and see how that will work for us. So let's just open the Mango app. And as you can see, this is our Android device. So we'll click sign in with Google and we get an error. So I believe this is the error that most of you encounter when trying to do sign in with Google and running it on Android device. So the error here says error developer error, and like I said to you, I won't be doing like a know all. I'll show you my errors, I'll show you the bugs I encounter, and we'll fix them together. So that's the point of this. So how do we fix this now? Now, there are two ways this particular error can show up. It's either when you click on this button, it allows you to select the email that you want to use, or it doesn't allow you at all and then it still shows the same error. And some people also encounter an error that it doesn't log anything to the console. As you select the email, it just closes the pop-up and then you don't see anything. So all these errors are what we're going to fix all together right now. Now, the major thing that caused this error is our SHA1 fingerprint certificate key not being correct. So if it's not correct, then Google will not be able to identify from the console what app is trying to use Google to sign in. I hope you just understand what I said. So we're going to fix that error right now, and I'm made to believe now that the SHA fingerprint key we generated earlier is not correct. So we'll have to generate another one in another way for our Android signing with Google to be working just like the way iOS is working. Now, to generate a new SHA1 certificate fingerprint key, oh, that's been hard for me to say. To do that, we're going to run a code here. I'll just paste that here, and it's going to be a cd android and this and sign in report. So when we run this, we'll be able to get our SHA1 certificate fingerprint key, which will work for us now. So yeah guys, we've successfully run that and then we have our reports here. Remember, this was what we run, and now when we scroll to the top of our report, we'll be able to see SHA1 fingerprint key here, and we can just copy this and go and paste it, replace it with the previous one we have in our Android client settings in Google Cloud Console. So I'll just go ahead and copy this and paste it there. So I've pasted mine now and I'm going to click the save button. I've pasted a new one here. I've clicked the save button now, and remember, this was how we accessed this place. We're in Google Cloud, in the APIs and services, and also in the credentials section. The Android client one, we replaced the previous fingerprint key here with the new one which we just generated, and I'm going to be blowing some of these so that you'll not use them also, because you can just use yours. So now let's go back and test if this will work for us. So now we are back in our app and let the testing begin. So in the same way, I'll click sign in with Google, and we see a pop-up here loading, and we'll wait for it. So I think I selected my email already. I'll just click continue, or Google hasn't verified this app. Okay, sign into Mango using my email. I'll click continue, and let's go to our console here so we can see the information when it loads. And it's still loading. It shouldn't take this long, but I feel my network is a little bit slow at this point. Okay, Mango want to access your Google account. Continue. And here we have the details of the user. I will just take some of this down. As you can see here, my name ABC, take like ABC, and that's the account I used to log in, the full name, and the email I used to log in, and the this is the token, and also this is the photo. So you can see we have all the details, and it's working very well on our Android device. So we'll just do that again. Sign in with Google. So while this is running, I believe I've answered a lot of your questions now about signing in with Google. So I believe you would face no errors after this video. But if you still face any error, I'm here for you. You can say in the comment section or contact me on LinkedIn, and it will be cool. I'm gonna respond to you and help you solve any other issues. If you face any other major issues that I'm not aware of course I'll do another video to help you resolve that also. So that's the one reason why you should subscribe, and so you can keep getting notifications each time I drop a new video, because it's very my contents are very, very helpful for your development journey. So please leave a like on this video, subscribe, and share it to your developer friends that have issues with this feature, so that you will support me also to keep making content like this for you. All right, that's it for me. Stay blessed.